Hi everyone, Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back here for another apartment renovation, and today we're going to go ahead and do a renovation of 121, and I'm probably going to mispronounce the name, but I think it's Hakim house or Hakim house, something like that. This is the household where the Yang household lives in, so if you know them then this is their apartment in the arts quarter. So if you want to go ahead and download this renovation for yourself, it is up in the gallery now. My origin ID is real Thomas TV1, but of course since it's an apartment it's a little bit awkward to upload those, so what I went ahead and actually had to do was upload it as a room. So I had to remove one slot, I guess, like one section of wall from each of the rooms. So when you go back in, just press the wall tool and go ahead and add those back into each of the rooms to make it like one big apartment again. So this household, I feel like it's a very interesting apartment. It's got lots of colours going on and stuff like that, and to be honest I don't really think it needed that much of a makeover, to be honest. There were a few things, and you know, because EA apartments have to be basic and things to make sure they're actually playable and run on all different types of computers and stuff, so they can't be too complex. But from even with those kind of criteria that I have to stick to, I thought this apartment was pretty nice. Lots of colours and stuff going on, and so I was kind of thinking, do I want to go ahead and kind of stick to those very colourful things, or do I want to kind of go for more neutral colours, or maybe go for a little bit more of a modern theme? And I decided to go a little bit more modern, just have some more neutral colours in it, so it's not as colourful as it was before, but I really wanted to go ahead and incorporate kind of like a modern design to it, because this is in the arts quarter, and I feel like a lot of the places here in the arts quarter are pretty you know, kind of modern things, such as, you know, the museum or the arts, I can't remember the name of it, you know, the art gallery thing. That place is pretty modern, so I kind of wanted to go ahead and fit that theme a little bit more. And yeah, so I did actually add an extra bedroom in here, because there was an extra bedroom at the back there, in that top right room, as you can see, which was kind of like, it just had the bubble blower thing in it, and so I felt like it was a little bit of a waste of space, I guess you could say, like a lot of room just for that, so I went ahead and made another bedroom for that. So there's actually 3 bedrooms here. There is like the actual townies, there's the 2 parents and the child. I didn't actually do a child's bedroom, since I feel like with modern houses and things, I always find it really difficult to do like a room for a child. So I just went ahead and just didn't really make a child's room, just like a normal bedroom which can be used by a child, and just, you know, go ahead and add a few more things in if you like to. So, we're just working on kind of like getting the layout of the living room done. Wasn't really too sure how to do this, because it seemed a little bit more spacious in the original one. This one seems a little bit more cramped, but it still looks nice either way. And we've also kind of got like the half wall there next to the kitchen, so you can kind of see through that as well, which looks nice. The kitchen is pretty small, and actually, to be honest, this apartment only came out to be about like 61,000 simoleons, which it might seem expensive, but for me, that isn't like expensive at all, because I just don't restrict myself on money limits and everything. If it's going to be a starter home, like, how did I pronounce that? A starter home, or kind of like a budget like thing, like I have, can't even speak, like I don't know how to explain it, kind of like a budget home that like went in to build specifically, or a starter home, then yes, of course I will have like a budget for that. But when it comes to other things, I kind of just like to just have, I guess, free will of what I want to do. Now, I don't use CC in my builds, so to make up for that, I kind of just don't use, kind of, you know, restrict myself on packs I'm using, or money restrictions, apart from those exceptions like I mentioned. So yeah, so we're just working on this little kind of dining room area here. I wasn't really too sure what to do with this area, because it's kind of like a very like narrow living room, I guess you could say, just this, and it kind of leads into the hallway, like it's all one big room sort of. It's really odd, I suppose, but I just went ahead and put a dining table in there, and I've just put a few shelves in, which I have been doing a lot more recently actually, and I don't really know, well actually I do know why. It's because the paintings in game are kind of like very, I'm just using them a lot, because I build like nearly, I would say like, well, it used to be like every day, but I start like pre-recording, so it's not really every day. I would say probably like 3 to 4 times a week I'm in-game building something. So I'm just using these paintings like all the time to fill up walls and stuff, and it gets pretty repetitive and just kind of boring. So what I've been doing a little bit recently is just using shelves instead of paintings, and you know, it doesn't have to be like just one shelf. You can make interesting patterns and, you know, designs out of them as well, and just put a load of coloured items on. And also can see how I did on the right there, I just put a mirror on there, And also a painting as well, like, is to give like the look of it, is the paintings like resting on the shelf, if that makes sense. For those bigger paintings, as you can see I'm using there, it might look like it's going to fall forward, but that's not going to happen, so we don't have to worry about that. So as you can see, I'm just going here trying to make a little, I was really struggling what to do with this wall, so I went ahead and used these little chopping boards, I think they are, from the Cool Kitchen stuff pack. They are a wall decoration, but I did actually use those. I think it was in my Make No Mistake build challenge. No, it wasn't. It was the Things I Never Use build challenge, which I was tagged in by Miss Griffey, which I did not too long ago. In that build, I was kind of thinking, what could I do different for wall decoration? And I just found these things from the Cool Kitchen stuff pack and kind of just made like a pattern out of them on the wall using different colour swatches of them. And it was a really nice, interesting pattern. I thought I'd go ahead and use it, you know, and I have been doing that a few more times in recent builds. But for this one, it didn't really work out on that wall, so I just went ahead and left it and just put a painting there. And I did actually put shelves underneath the painting, which I don't know why, I kind of just do it like without even thinking. It kind of looks nice actually having shelves underneath the paintings, especially those bigger ones like I use from City Living there. So we're here working on the kitchen. As you can see, we're using some Parenthood counters, which I'm still enough with. I think the reason I use this so much is because of the sink there, because it's actually like a counter, like an inbuilt counter thing that matches for the sink, which is so great, and I love it, because what actually happens is when you have a sink and it, like placed into a counter, and as you can see there, which I'm putting the kitchen rule thing down on, it makes it really awkward because it snaps to it, and then you have to move the sink out of the way to place it down where you think it's going to be. But with this Parenthood one, it doesn't snap to it, so you can kind of just use move objects to put that on it, and it looks really nice, and it's much easier to do it. So that's probably why I use the Parenthood ones a lot more. So, as you can see, the trim there for the half wall turned like really like light blue. I don't know why. That happens a lot with these half wall trims. It is actually supposed to be white, so maybe once you place it down in your build it won't look like that. But for me it was doing it, so a little bit, you know, irritating. But you know, it's fine. So we're just working on this hallway area here. Now, this hallway area was a little bit odd. I wasn't really too sure what to do with it, because it is kind of like, you know, just leading into the living room. It's kind of just one big hallway sort of, so it was a little bit odd to do that. So, I don't know, it's a little bit odd, and it was kind of just a lot of space to fill, so I ended up putting these like rugs down, which I don't know if they look too great, because I kind of had to put a few down to fill up that space. Probably didn't need to, but I kind of just went ahead and did it. Anyway, so I'm trying to think, is anything left to say other than the build, like what's happened? Well, actually, I do have a few things to say, because I'm out actually on my half-term break. Now, if you're in the UK, you probably know what this is. It's basically kind of here, we have the schools like break up for a week during October. So it's currently the 22nd of October I'm recording this on. I think this should be going up tomorrow, the 23rd, which is odd because I don't normally do that, where like record the day before, because that's just too stressful. But it's actually because well, my original plan was to do apartment renovations every Monday, but that didn't really go too great. Like, there was just sometimes I wasn't really in the mood to do it, or I just trying to find a new idea to kind of do for a renovation in an apartment was kind of hard to come up with every single time. So sometimes I haven't been doing it as much and just doing another build instead. But recently I've had Serena's Story, which was that 5-part mini LP that I had on my channel. There's a playlist up if you want to go ahead and catch up on that. So I did that every Monday for the last 5 weeks. So my schedule's been a little bit odd at the minute. I don't have a published schedule that I kind of share. I have one like to myself to keep track of everything, but I don't share it because I might not keep to it, because you know, some things might change. And if we've got, sorry, not City Living, we've got Cats and Dogs coming out soon, and I am planning to do a few videos on that, as well as the console version and the Sims Mobile. Not 100% sure of that. I've had a conversation with Sim Guru Drake about maybe doing something like that, but more come nearer to the time. Anyway, so yeah, so my schedule's just been a little bit all over the place, but it was a little while ago, and I think it was my friend Stephanie from Simarchy, and I kind of just did a poll on Twitter asking if people would be interested in having me do a specific schedule during the week. So on this day I do this, on this day I do that, and so on. But she kind of suggested that maybe just keeping my viewers on their toes a bit, if you guess you could say, and just kind of surprising you with videos, and I think that's a really nice idea actually. So I did actually kind of stick with that, and I have been doing that for quite some time now. And of course, since my main focus on my channel is builds, there's not really something that I can kind of make a schedule from, because nearly every single day is going to be a build. On Saturdays I try to go for something different, either a current household update, a creator sim, a tag, or just something a little bit more different than a build. And then every other day of the week is pretty much a build, apart from Mondays, which is kind of one, but a renovation. But like I said, I don't really stick to that. I'm not really too strict myself. At least if I'm getting 5 videos up a week, then that's okay. I'm not really too bothered which one's which for each day, but I at least do 5 videos a week. And I haven't, you know, missed a video, so, you know, I'm not going to make myself stressed having to say, okay, I've got to do this video for this day, but I'm not in the mood to do it, if that makes sense. So, you know, I just do what I want, really. Anyway, so we're just working on one of these bedrooms here. Now, what I actually did was put some of these kind of big mirrors behind the bed, which is something I haven't done in a little while. I did actually used to do that, you know, just for something a little bit different to put behind the bed instead of just a big painting or something. So I'm really, really happy how they turned out, actually. Really like this modern sort of theme, and we're just working on this next bedroom here, which I'd probably say would be the kids in terms of its size, because, well, it's a slightly smaller one. Like I said earlier, it might not be very fit for a kid, I guess you could say, but it is still pretty nice. And also, in other news, my driving lessons are still going well. I've had 4. I had one yesterday. Since I have a week off, I'm doing a few more, but had one yesterday, and I also got one tomorrow, and also on Thursday as well. So got a few there to do. It is going pretty well. I think I'm progressing quite well. And of course, like I mentioned, it is in a manual car, because that's kind of like standard for the UK. But it is just so much to think of, because I've got to keeping track of the clutch and making sure I'm not going to stall the car or anything, and just clutch control. It's a lot to take in, but I'm getting there. Anyway, so that's it for today's video. I'm going to leave you here with some screenshots in the comment section down below. Let me know about what you thought of this apartment renovation, and if you have any ideas for what you want to see in the next renovation. Make sure to leave a like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and also go ahead and download this from the gallery if you like to. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!